Virginia's gas tax would rise based on increases in federal fuel efficiency standards under a bill that has passed the Senate. The state Senate voted 31-9 today to approve Senator Emmett Hanger's proposal to adjust the fuel tax annually by the percentage increase in the corporate average fuel economy standard. Virginia's gas tax has remained at 17.5 cents per gallon for more than 2 decades. As cars become more fuel efficient, the state loses out on funds to build and pave roads. The proposal will prove a tough sell in the GOP-controlled House, which traditionally blocks tax increases. If passed, the first increase would be in April 2011. And joining us now to talk about the measure is the bill's sponsor, State Senator Emmett Hanger, a Republican from Augusta County. Senator, thanks for joining us.
Well, pleased to be here, Bob.
And you, this just happened this morning, so you made a quick trip up from Richmond, and I guess obviously excited about the result on your bill.
Right. Yeah, we have a deadline on revenue bills, so it had to move through today. I had originally intended to debate it on Monday, but we got it ahead of us now, so we're going to be working on the budget over the weekend.
Explain this a little bit more. So basically, as cars become more fuel efficient, the fuel tax would go up to compensate, almost kind of like a cost of living adjustment in a sense, right?
Essentially, it is an index, and we've struggled with this for some time, and by no means is this the cure for the problem we have with having adequate funds to maintain our roads at this point, but it is something that I think will work well, or can work well. You really framed the issue well in your intro there, in that what has happened over the last number of years, and it will be more so, I think, as we go out the next few years, is that we're all driving increasingly more fuel-efficient vehicles. So as a result of that, our gas tax is based on the number of gallons we use. It's 17.5 cents a gallon. So if you drive a vehicle next year that gets 10% greater fuel efficiency, essentially you can drive the same distance and pay 10% less gas tax is what it amounts to. So this would index it. I think it's a fair way to do it so that we don't lose the base of money that we have now to maintain our roads. And clearly with the type of winter we had this past winter and are still having, we're going to be challenged to maintain our roads with existing resources. So I think it's a common sense approach to establishing the base so that fuel tax will rise accordingly as we get greater and greater efficiency. And of course, the average standard that is adjusted federally is a reflection of the fleet average here in Virginia pretty much. So it's kind of a gauge of that. It's not precise, but it gives us a standard that we can adjust it by.
Now, the vote was 31-9, 9 votes against it, including a vote against it from your colleague, another senator from the Valley, Mark Openshain.
Right.
And obviously, I would think that one of the concerns is, in a sense, this being a tax increase, because people will have to pay more in gas taxes if this goes through.
Right. On 2 points, I would say that it's not a tax increase. First, the gas tax to start with is a user fee. It's one of those things where we pay a fee to be able to drive on the roads, and if you have gas in the car and you don't have roads, then you're still not going to get anywhere. And clearly, we have work to do to maintain our roads, and if we leave potholes there, it's going to be much more costly to repair the problems it creates with your car. Secondly, this isn't a tax increase, because it isn't even a fee increase, really, because what we're doing is compensating for your increased fuel efficiency. So as you're traveling the same distance or greater distance using less gas with a more fuel efficient vehicle, we have the quandary of declining revenues into our transportation trust fund. And this will address a part of it, so that as the fuel efficiency goes up, so correspondingly will the fuel tax, so that it maintains at a relatively even level.
You say you've spoken to the governor about this?
Spoke to the governor about this. He is interested in basically put together where we focus on transportation, maybe in a special session. But we had a number of bills this year, but this one bill is the only one that survived, in that we think it's something we can do right now. There are a lot of other things we'll need to do later, but this one, I believe, can stand on its own merits.
All right, very good. State Senator Emmett Hanger, Republican from Augusta County, thanks so much for joining us.
Bob, pleased to be here. Thank you.
And now let's send it to